And then the last ones are these little bitty Violet de Soleil. So the node on these is, hold it that way, stay consistent, is right here. So all I've got is this little bitty surface area for roots. All of these, the Violet de Soleil, all of the nodes are pretty close together. So I don't have a whole lot of room to put in the soil, but these cuttings look. Hey everybody, this is Danny with MyFigStix. Y'all, I got some new cuttings in and I need practice. I am in the single node challenge between Jay's Figs TX, Airtabe Gardens. This is Figgy Edge challenge, single node challenge. So I've got some new cuttings. I'm going to get some practice in because I want to be able to root as many of these single node Angelitos from Figgy Ed as I can so that we can give them all away to you guys. So stick with me. We're going to talk about what a single node cutting looks like. We're going to talk about two different soils that I'm going to attempt, or soil mixtures, and we're going to get going. So stick around. Let's see how we get single node cuttings started. Okay, first let's talk about the different soil mixtures that I'm going with, y'all, in these pots here. This is simply 60% Pro Mix, 40% added perlite. Trying to keep that aeration up. Now, one thing I'm also doing at the suggestion of several people in the comments, I went ahead, I wanted to add some microbes, right? I have azos and mycos, so I took 3 tablespoons of each and mixed it into my whole pot right here, and then added that here. So I guess this will be our control, if you will. So 60% Pro Mix, 40% perlite, and then 3 tablespoons of each azos and mycos. Little different story over here. Over here, I've been watching Airtabe Gardens and his bin mix SP. So I kind of went with my version of that. I don't have sawdust, but I do have a compost pile. I'll probably try to overlay a clip of my compost. What I did was I took it out of the pile, I sifted it. So I wanted to remove any of the big particles, leaves that didn't break down, pine straw, any kind of bark that might have been in there. Y'all, my compost is pretty much all grass clippings and dried leaves. And my compost pile is over a year old. I started it fall of 24. It's crazy, y'all. But so I sifted that out. I made it really, really fine and fluffy. Then I let it dry out. So what I've got going in this one is 50% Pro Mix. It is 20% peat moss, then 15% added extra perlite, and 15% added of my compost mix. I mixed all of that up really, really well. And then again, I added 3 tablespoons each of azos and mycos just for the added microbes that I want in this soil. Now, the thought process behind adding that compost, what Ben says, Airtabe Gardens, he brings up high nitrogen. He wants that nitrogen. He's getting that nitrogen out of the compost. Y'all, the grass clippings in my compost should run the nitrogen sky high. Now, I didn't have a ton of confidence in my compost because it's not sawdust. It's not the same as Ben's. So I only went with 15%, but I want to see how this does. I know it's going to, the peat moss and all of that is going to hold a little extra moisture. So I'm really going to have to focus in on that. But with both of these, I did stick with the 5-to-1 ratio for my moisture. So that's what I've got going. Now let's take a look at a couple of these single node cuttings. I've got some more multi-node cuttings to do as well, but let's take a look at the single node cuttings. All right, so let's take a look at some of these single node cuttings. I'll start with a couple of the longer ones. Y'all, this is a strawberry verte. If you can tell, the node is right here. So I have all of that space right there as my rooting space. So this is one of them. These cuttings look very good. I'm really happy about the strawberry verte. This is a, this one's kind of crazy. This is a long dowel, y'all. I'm putting my fingers on the node. Look at all this that's going to go below the soil. So I will be doctoring those up. We'll talk about that in just a second. So that is a long doubt. All of this will be rooting surface, and I have two. This one's close to that. It doesn't have quite as much space, but still a lot of rooting surface. And then the last ones are these little bitty Violet de Soleil. So the node on these is, I'll hold it that way, stay consistent, is right here. So all I've got is this little bitty surface area for roots. All of these, the Violet de Soleil, all of the nodes are pretty close together. So I don't have a whole lot of room to put in the soil, but these cuttings look pretty good. So I'm pretty excited about this. So those are my single node cuttings. And then I'm just going to stick them the way I always do. One thing I am going to do a little bit different with all of these, I'm going to use Clonex. Really, the only reason why I'm switching to Clonex on these single nodes is because they're too short for me to stick in my little ibuprofen bottle that I put my Hormone on my cuttings with. So I'm going to go with Clonex. One thing I have at least heard, I can't say whether it's right or wrong, but put the Clonex on using a little paintbrush. This I always do. That makes perfect sense. But I like to let that Clonex dry or pretty much dry. I don't want it to be wet if I can help it when I put it in the soil. So that's how I'm using the Clonex this time. And obviously I'm going to scrape all of them with my grafting knife. And what I do, I don't cut all the way down to the white. I just scrape away the bark. I want to see that green Cambium layer underneath. That's where I'm putting my rooting hormone. Y'all, in the last few up pots I've done, it's been very, very obvious that the roots are coming from those scrapes, not the nodes. That's why I really think this single node will work perfect, just like Ben in Aeratib Gardens has shown. The roots aren't necessarily coming from the node. They're coming from that stem. If we scrape away and expose that Cambium layer, we should get roots. I've been noticing that lately on my up pots, and I feel pretty confident this is going to work. So let me get going. I'm going to get some of these potted up, and then I'll check back with you. Okay, y'all, I'm down to my last one, just so y'all can, I'll kind of talk you through all I'm doing. So I've let that Clonex dry. I don't want to put it in there wet. To be honest with you, I don't know where I heard that, but it makes sense. I don't want to put that Clonex in the soil wet because it can aid in rot. So that's one thing I always do. Y'all let me know. Do y'all do that? Have y'all heard the same? Not sure where I got it from, but that said, so here we go. So this is one of those long doubts. This one has about this much that growing surface for roots. The node is right here. So what I'm kind of doing, I'm measuring to make sure that I've got the hole set at the right depth. And so this is the right depth. Now what I'm doing is I'm trying to hold the cutting as still as I can, and then I'm just kind of pressing the dirt all around that cutting. I want to make sure that I have good contact, soil contact to the cutting. And then I'm just kind of, once I do that, I just kind of pack it around And all of these single nodes, I'm putting the node right just above the surface of the potting mix. And so that's what I've got here. I said earlier that I've noticed that the roots seem to be coming from the scores that I've made, where I've scraped the bark away to the cambium layer. And yes, that is where I'm seeing most of my roots. Sorry, the sun is in my eyes, very bad. That's where I'm seeing most of my roots. I'm not saying that roots don't come from the node. Obviously, they do. What I'm saying is I don't think a node is necessary. If it were, Ben would not be having so much success with single node cuttings. That's what I want to learn. Can I pull this off? So once I've got that all packed in, I am putting some perlite on top. This is an attempt to stop the fungus gnats. I kind of try to cover it up with perlite so that you cannot see any of the potting mix. I don't know if this helps any or not. I'm still fighting fungus gnats, something fierce, but I've been spraying them with Malathion, I believe it's called. Seems to be helping. We'll talk about that in another video. But once I have got everything on, I am weighing these now. I had quite a few comments that told me, hey, weigh it after you pot it up. That way you can come back in a week or so and weigh it again, and then you know how much water to add. So I am doing that one. This is 275. So I have got all of these labeled now, which soil medium we're using. So like for instance, this one, Ben calls his Ben Mix SP. This one, I'm going to call it D Mix. That's just so I know the difference between the two. So I've got that label in there. Now all of these are going to, I'm going to keep these indoors. Maybe I'm going to hide them from my wife, but they're going to be indoors on a towel, and I will make sure and cover, keep all the light off of them for now. But I have all of my single nodes stuck now. So today is January the 19th. So y'all stick with me. We're going to keep up with these. How well can I do with single nodes? This is practice. This is practice for me. We have the single node challenge, Figgy Ed single node challenge coming up. That's between myself, MyFigStix, Jeremy, which is Jay's Figs TX, and then Ben at Aritabe Gardens. We're going to try to root as many single node Angelito cuttings as we can. And then the goal is the more we are able to successfully grow into a tree, we're going to send out to all of you. So check out Eddie Figgy Ed on YouTube. Check out Ben at Aritabe Gardens. Also check out Jeremy, Jay's Figs TX. Y'all, this is going to be a fun challenge. I'm excited about it. I'm getting my practice in for all of you because I want to give away as many Angelito rooted cuttings as we possibly can, y'all. So more cuttings. Look at this. Look at all these. I've got to stick all of these next. Y'all, fig addiction's a real thing. I just want you to join in on all of our fun, y'all. Thanks for watching.